on tap. It's the nightcap of this first day at Flyin To The Hoop. It's Southeastern Prep and Reynoldsburg next here on SUV TV. A pleasant good evening to you, along with Doug Powers. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us on SUV TV. It's Flyin To The Hoop, powered by Beacon Orthopedics. Tonight, Southeastern Prep at 24-7 takes on Reynoldsburg at 7-4. And Doug, one thing that we couldn't help but notice was size by Southeastern Prep.
Absolutely, Jeff. Two of the guys in the starting lineup, Tony Bryant and Obina Akizi, both of them 6'9" and 7 foot respectfully. And I'm looking at the other size of the other starters, 6'3", 6'4", up in the 6'7" range. Compare that to Reynoldsburg, who have what would look like average-sized high school basketball players, but they do have two studs in Xavier McKinney and Jordy Bowens, the two Ohio commits. It's going to come down to how well can they mitigate and what can they do to mitigate the size of Southeastern Prep.
And we can't wait to find out in the next 32 game minutes. It's Southeastern Prep and Reynoldsburg. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups in the opening tip-off. This is Flyin To The Hoop, powered by Beacon Orthopedics here on SUV TV. If you're ready now, let's give you the starting lineups here in this ball game. First for Southeastern Prep, out of Orlando, Florida. The Falcons are 24-7. Their head coach in his first year with this program is David Peavy. The guards don't run out tonight. The point guard is zero. Beckham Black at 6'4", 180 pounds, a junior. He'll run with number 24, Anthony Cruz at 6'3", a senior. Running a swing position tonight will be 4, C.J. Rosser at 6'10", 195 pounds, a junior. Up front, it's 15, Obina Akizi at 7'1", a junior. And 14, Tony Bryant at 6'9", 215 pounds, a senior. On the other side for the Reynoldsburg Raiders at 7-4 out of Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Their head coach in his 6th year with this program, Andrew Moore. The backcourt is 0, Makai Roddy at 6'1", 185 pounds, a sophomore. 3, Chavis Wilson Jr. at 5'9", 155 pounds, a sophomore. And 5, Rashad Perry at 6'3", 155 pounds, a sophomore. Up front, it's number 2, Jordy Bowens at 6'6", 200 pounds, a senior. And 11, Xavier McKinney at 6'4", 175 pounds, a senior. So as we bring in Doug Powers back into this broadcast for our nightcap here tonight, we saw size be an issue in our first game, the opener here tonight by Wasatch Academy. We expect the same here for Southeastern Prep.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to what kind of game plan. And the other interest, I was going to say what kind of game plan Reynoldsburg has. But what's interesting is Reynoldsburg, up until about 12 hours ago, or even less, didn't know they were going to be playing Southeastern Prep. So whatever game plan they had was for Spire Academy, Spire Institute up in Geneva. So it's going to be a quickly adjusted game plan, probably a lot of zone. Man-to-man is probably not going to work in this case for this game because of the size of Southeastern Prep.
Well, what's interesting here is a couple things as far as I'm concerned for Southeastern Prep. The ability to post up, especially with your size down low, but you have guards who are also big, so those rising jump shots aren't going to be contested as well.
Absolutely. Probably a lot of double teams. Maybe even might want to consider some sort of pressure, maybe three-quarter court, maybe full court pressure, try to get some quick steals, get some quick buckets. Because offensively for Reynoldsburg, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Is it going to be a lot of motion, a lot of cut, a lot of backdoor, a lot of Princeton-type offense? They do have the two studs who can put the ball in the hole, but they're going to come up against a definitive size deficiency that's going to definitely affect their ability to put the ball in the hole.
The last time out for Reynoldsburg, they saw their 28-game winning streak in the Ohio Capital Conference get blown up on Tuesday, losing to Newark 66-49. So think about this. This is a team in Reynoldsburg that went and played in the D1 championship game at UD Arena just down the road from us last March. They know what Dayton's like. They know they can play here.
Yeah, and one advantage they might have is these kids have probably played a lot together throughout the course of their lives. I'm not saying that Southeastern Prep doesn't play together. They're 24-7, so they've got a lot of games this year, but this is probably the first season that all of these players have played together. So it's going to be interesting to see which philosophy, defensively and offensively, kind of play out. I'm just looking at Southeastern Prep and the size, not only just the height of Rosser and Akizi and Bryant, but they're strong. They're built very strong young men. And given that they're 24-7, I'm wondering who are those 7 teams that they lost to? Were they possibly in the NBA?
Southeastern Prep is the number 7 national team entering this weekend, while Reynoldsburg was the number 11 team in the preseason before the losses. Now, of course, losses in the regular season amongst high school teams, nothing to frown upon, especially with the end of football season lingering and so many of those kids having to get into basketball shape.
Well, and particularly
as well.
for Reynoldsburg, they're an Ohio team. They've got an Ohio State championship to chase. They don't want to get caught up in any bad habits that they might develop by trying to beat an oversized Southeastern Prep Academy team, of which they're probably not going to play a team with this kind of size the rest of their season.
Taps controlled by Southeastern Prep, and away we go here in Kettering for the nightcap on day 1 of this Flying to the Hoop.
Man-to-man by Reynoldsburg. Interesting.
They look down low and a tackle down low.
Yeah.
Fair amount of contact. We see Cornelius Oliver getting the start. He jumped center initially at 6'6", and
an obvious grab.
An obvious foul there.
He was beat badly, and he just grabbed him and tackled him to the ground.
Sign him up for defensive end on the football team. Nice jump hook. Tony Bryant for 2.
Smooth jump hook with basically no contest there for Tony Bryant.
6'9". He's a Missouri commit. 3 on the way, and knock it down. Jordan Bowens, Jordy as we call him at 6'6", makes it a 3-2 ball game. They feed inside to the big man, deflected off the gas. Bowens gets a touch, and he is fouled.
Wow, yeah. Nice defense there by Reynoldsburg. Contested the big fella, made him adjust his shot, and then he got the cheap foul on the transition. Man-to-man, full court pressure here by Southeastern Prep. I think that's St. Vincent.
They play out to Roddy, Makai Roddy, top of the key. The handoff to Xavier McKinney, a long 3, no good. Tapped and saved, and they'll stay up front. Jordy Bowens also going to OU. Drives, here's a high arcing runner, no good.
Good thing for Bowens and McKinney is this is the kind of down low competition they're going to be facing next year.
3 from the corner, left short by C.J. Rosser. One of the 5-star juniors.
Oh, wow.
Here's a long 3, knock it down! Makai Roddy from way downtown.
Without hesitation for the 25-footer. It looks like he's been doing that all year.
6-2. A minute and a half gone by here in this first quarter.
Clearly the message for Reynoldsburg and the philosophy is going to be leverage our outside shooting.
The lob inside, Akizi in a double team and a foul. We get a stop here with 6:19. Thinking back to the long-range shot we saw on the other side for a second, that's 28, almost 30 feet out.
Yeah, and it looked like those guys had lined those up. It wasn't a bailout. It wasn't an end of the shot clock, which they don't have right now because of the Ohio team. But it looks like that's going to be their philosophy, is leverage the 3 solid shooters they have, Roddy, Bowens, and McKinney.
Meanwhile, Akizi to the line. No free throw numbers on him. Looking pretty good for a big man. And we mentioned that in the first game. It's very difficult for big men to have good form because there's just so many moving pieces and shooting shots.
And you know, a lot of the times, partner, is big guys have big hands, and you can't shoot a good jump shot when you can palm the ball. It's better that the ball rolls off the tips of your fingers when you have hands that are just slightly small enough to not palm the ball.
They run the weave up top,
oh
deflected, and initially saved in the backcourt, but taken down by Postel, I beg your pardon, for Cruz, and out of bounds.
Looks like they're going to give Bowens the foul there.
It is.
That's all. That's really all he could do at that point. It was going to be an easy layup.
Already 3 team fouls here in this first quarter. So one of the things that you don't want if you're Reynoldsburg is for attrition to become an issue.
Absolutely, absolutely. Particularly with your 3 stars, Roddy, Bowens, and McKinney. Oh, boy.
Rebound. That's size for you. And a good job. Bowens gets the rebound.
Southeastern Prep is just going up and over the players on Reynoldsburg when it comes to these rebound attempts.
By the way, Bowens got that rebound off of having long levers. Look at the wingspan on him.
He did. He had a good box out, too.
3 straight on! Roddy again, his second trifecta here in this first quarter.
I tell you, don't tell Reynoldsburg that they're outsized or they're outmanned in this game. They have come ready to play. They are attacking on the offense.
9-5 Reynoldsburg. Skip pass, and they play it back outside around the arc. Cruz drops it off. Akizi. Oh, thank you very much!
On the other end, Southeastern Prep, they're really looking to get the ball to those big guys every time. One or two of those guys are touching the ball almost every time down.
A long 3, no good this time. Oh, contact in the lane.
They're going to go offensive there.
He lowered the shoulder, just like a good running back in here in the NFL playoffs this weekend.
Is that Derrick Henry? Oh, wait, he's not in the playoffs.
3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Fun to be sure, 9-7, Reynoldsburg. State runners-up a year ago here in Ohio. The runner, the floater, and no finish this time for Bowens.
Good move by Bowens. They're going to need those, though. They're going to need to make sure that they hit the open looks and another dunk.
Dunk you very much. Akizi shoots 62% from the floor. His field goal percentage is only going up here in Ohio. The runner, no good, and a foul.
Yeah,
McKinney tried to finish, beg your pardon.
He's going to hit 80 if he keeps dunking like that tonight.
Right now, the way he's positioned, and I'm only making this from a size comparison against his competition. Right now, he looks like Shaquille O'Neal minus 100 pounds.
Absolutely, absolutely. And all 3 of their big guys are big, strong young men. It's not like the tall, gangly 15-year-old that sometimes you see in high school. These guys have been hitting the weight room.
McKinney misses on the front end. Ohio University commit. No good on both.
Gotta have those.
We're tied at 9 after a couple of powerful dunks by Akizi.
A lot of back screens down on the baseline to try to get these big fellas open. Not a lot of movement. Oh,
easy layup. Tony Bryant for 2 more.
Just lost track of him.
No good. .80 run here by Southeastern Prep. Nice. And Bryant for 2 more again. If this were a playoff game, or even or a regular season game in the state of Ohio, you probably think about a timeout right now.
Absolutely.
Here you just play on. Shake and bake for Roddy.
A lot of times it's good to see how your players. Oh boy, it's good to see how your players react through adversity in the middle of a game.
The floater, no good for Rosser. Reynoldsburg on the move. They don't have numbers, they'll return it up high. Roddy puts it on the deck and lost it. Anthony Cruz picks it away. With 3 to play here in this first quarter.
Wide open in the paint.
They go again to Bryant. He drew the double, and now he'll play it back outside and reset. No shot clock and an easy offense running right now for Southeastern Prep, and we head the other way.
I tell you, despite the size disadvantage, Reynoldsburg is doing a really good job of getting position on defense, boxing out, and at the very least getting good solid position for a rebound. Now some of these guys are so tall, they might still be able to tip it to themselves, but they're doing their job by getting good position to put themselves and with a chance to get the rebound.
3 lead changes so far in the opening minutes of this ball game. A lot of Division I college talent apparent on the floor tonight. The throwaway. Bowen's lost it. Kellen Cantrell into the ball game. Here's 3 from the corner, in and out for Gross. Aiden Gross into this contest as well. As David Peavy freely substituting here in the first quarter. 3 on the way, no good for Cantrell, and the putback for 2. Jackson Flint also into this contest, gets his first field goal, and we do have a timeout with 2:17 left to play here in this opening quarter. We'll hold things right here at 15-9. And right now, after a 9-3 start for Reynoldsburg, it's been Southeastern prep.
Yeah, I mean, right now the size disadvantage is glaring right now for Southeastern Prep. They're looking for the big guys down low. They're getting the rebounds. They're getting the loose balls that are up high. Look, Reynoldsburg's doing a great job of, like I said, boxing out and putting themselves in position. But sometimes it just comes down to me versus you, and I'm 6'10" and you're 6'4", and I can get the ball and you can't.
Right now, the guy that I'm most impressed with, I know Tony Bryant had a couple of field goals. Akizi has got some hop on him at 7'1".
Well, Jackson Flint that just had that putback, he's 6'9", and he comes off the bench.
How'd you like to have that coming off your bench?
Yeah, something's in the water down there in Orlando.
The good weather and the mouse. They keep it around the arc. Bowens has it. McKinney, stuck free throw line.
Solid man-to-man pressure by Southeastern.
Long 3, no good this time for Chavis Wilson Jr. 2 options, no good, and they'll stay up front. How would you like to have that on the break? When you have the turnover, your guards handling the ball, coming down the floor, he had 1 on each wing.
It looks like that's by design. The Southeastern is either kicking it to the wing or the corner for a 3, or they're throwing it down deep to the block to get their big man involved.
It goes up high to Flint.
It's one or the other. No mid-range 2 points for these guys.
A 3, and this time good for Kellen Cantrell.
3-point basket, Kellen Cantrell.
And double your pleasure for the Falcons at 18-9. Roddy has a couple of 3s. They might need him to shoot from 25 pretty consistently tonight, the way this has gone.
Yeah, I mean, Reynoldsburg is going to have to be very, very particular in their when it comes to their shot selection. If they're going to take those deep shots, they've got to be open when they take them.
Postel outside, Roddy penetrates, now
Nice
pops.
move.
Good-looking shot, everything but the hoop.
Wow, that was a great move. Good off the bounce, just didn't fall.
Here comes
Back to
Reynoldsburg, Roddy, and misses connection.
Too late.
Looking for Bowens on the wing, and they just missed each other by a step.
Yeah, it looked like Roddy couldn't collect himself. He wanted to take one more dribble before he dished it off to Bones, and he just couldn't handle it.
And that's tough. I mean, you're in traffic, you're in the middle of the paint area. If you stop, you're going to be in trouble. As they double team the ball handler, and over and back.
Well,
good defense by the Raiders.
Great defense. And the other thing, Jeff, is when they're coming on the break like that, they know the trailer or somebody is going to be coming from behind them that's probably 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", and above that's going to be able to contest the shot. Oh, I thought that was open.
Goes to McKinney. Xavier McKinney at 6'4", 175 pounds. Younger brother Braylon is a junior on this team.
So they're clearing it out for McKinney.
No shot clock here, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Gets the high screen.
Nice.
Works around the big man, and one! Worked in against the big man, Jackson Flynn, and he'll head to the line.
Big time move, big time finish with the off the glass with his right hand on the left side, left of the rim. Nice and easy off the glass. That was great.
Jackson Flint, his first team's 5th.
And he gets the bonus.
Reynoldsburg needs a lot more of that.
Block shot off the side. It's saved. They work inside, and before they get it into Flint, time is run out here in this fast-moving first quarter.
It's a very fast quarter.
It sure was. 18-12, Southeastern Prep by 6. We're flying to the hoop here in Kettering, Ohio, powered by Beacon Orthopedics here on SUV TV. Back to action here. Here's a 3. Right wing, off the mark for Bowens. One and done here on this possession. We've been entertained. I got to tell you, I know I mouthed to you in the break. More Ikezi.
And he's back in the game. Oh, boy.
Oh, the alley-oop and the finish to Bryant. Thank you very much.
Back screen by Ikezi to get Bryant open. It's beautiful. Oh, boy. That's goaltending.
Goaltending. So Ikezi.
I mean, there's not much that Reynoldsburg can do right now with these guys down low. You just tip your cap. You do your best to fight, hustle, and scrap to try to keep them from getting close to the bucket. But like I said before, sometimes when you're that tall and you can jump that high, you're just going over the top of people. You just tip your cap if you're Reynoldsburg.
The field goal, credit to McKinney. 3 from the corner. No good
box
for Tony Bryant. That would have just been unfair after the last dunk.
Good box by Hooper. He's all 6 foot.
Postel works on that.
Nice.
Oh, nice spin.
Oh!
You kidding? A looping shot. No good for Joey Bowens. Oh, thank you very much. Another lob, and this time it goes to C.J. Rosser Jr. We had a dunk meter prior to this first ball game of this twin bill. In and out.
I think you and Marcus had 8 or maybe over and under as 11 on oh boy, Kerry. I think you had it at 11 and a half. I think we're going to get that in the first half.
I think we have 4 in the first game, and I think we've had 4 here, or 5 here, 4 here in the second.
4 or 5, yeah. I'm not sure if our halftime stat coordinator is going to have that one down for us.
We really do need a dunk meter for these games. It's McKinney trying to create too much size down underneath, and this one's out of bounds.
I mean, bless their heart, they're taking it to the hole strong. McKinney and Roddy and Bowens, they're taking it to the hole, but again, it's going to be very difficult to get the shots off over those fellas. They might want to think about pulling up.
Bowens, nice step around. He pops from the free throw line, 15 feet away.
Smooth.
Correction, Jordan Bowens.
5 points for Bowens, 22-16. They work inside of the big man, and one.
I mean,
so he went on over like he was going to go and get out of this game, that it was an offensive foul. Instead, he'll go to the line.
I mean, these guys, particularly Kesey and Bryant, Jeff, they're posting up directly under the basket. And they're getting to 2.5 on that 3-second call and then getting out and getting right back in.
4 on Reynoldsburg, 3 on Cornelius Oliver. Under 6 to play at 24-16. Bowens spots up 3. Right wing, he knocks it down. His second trifecta, give him 8.
I mean, if Reynoldsburg can figure out something to do against Ikezi and Bryant, like not let him get the ball like now.
McKinney took the passing lane, misfires. Here's the long outlet, and thank you very much! Tony Bryant again with 2 more the fun way.
10 for him, looks like. Yeah, if Reynoldsburg can figure out something to do, they're staying in this with their...
Roddy's too long on the long-range shot.
A little ill-advised there. But when you look at all the, I mean, like I said, we've lost track at this point, but we're probably pushing 6 or 7. They're only down 7
CJ Rosser. That's his
with the
first
ball.
personal team's first.
It was the big spurt back in the first quarter for Southeastern Prep. They went on a 12-0 run, if I added the math correctly, and that's been the difference here in this ball game.
They could make an attempt
misfires.
to go out down under and try to get those guys in foul trouble, but I think they just need to play solid defense.
Bryant blocked from behind,
Man.
but he was also fouled.
I mean, to their credit, Jeff, the release point of these two big fellas is very, very high. So they're not even allowing Reynoldsburg to get even close to contest the shot. They're going to go up against off the glass, and they're going to get fouled like Bryant just did.
And the first one. So height matters. As much as I hate to say it as a short man, height does matter. But I think I want to accentuate a point. Height matters, but when you have height with ability, good first move, the drop step, the ability to finish at the hole, that's the power of height.
Absolutely. You've got to have some skills. You can't be a stiff.
Here's a drive and a foul. Anthony Cruz picks up the personal.
I mean, look, Reynoldsburg, they're quick off the ball. They finish strong at the hole. They're just going against really big fellas. So if they can find a way to pull up, maybe get these guys in foul trouble, they can hang around and make this interesting.
Only the second team foul for Southeastern Prep. Chavis Wilson Jr. gets the first. 5'9", 155 pounds, a sophomore guard. And again, I think this accentuates the point. I know it's guard versus forwards and centers, but Wilson at 5'9", playing amongst the trees, that's a difficult task.
Absolutely. And one thing I noticed about Reynoldsburg players, they all shoot the ball really well. Nice release, good form, good arc.
Reynoldsburg initially showing 2-3. Now it's a man.
That'd be a good call.
3 from the left wing. Knock it down for CJ Rosser. It's dunks and threes tonight. A double-digit lead here for Southeastern Prep at 31-21. McKinney stuck on the left elbow. Needs help. He gets it. McKinney again. 3 rims out.
Even on the misses, Reynoldsburg is really close.
They work in, and again, Bryant for 2 more. And again, height, that first drop step off the right block.
This guy's the big fellas, particularly Bryant, he does a really good job of cutting to the ball, cutting to the hole, and his teammates are finding him.
Wilson gets a shot rejected. He gets it back, actually, and now it's for Rashad Perry. No good. Rebound. And thank you very much for Bowens. And a foul.
Bowen says, I can dunk too.
Bowen's a swing man going to Ohio University. Eclipsed 1,000 points in his career back around the new year.
His second personal, team's third. Jordan Bowens, shooting 1.
Can't get the bonus, a drop.
Got to get those.
And look at the way they fill the lanes, Southeastern Prep. Now out to the sideline. Spacing is tremendous. Here's a 3, top of the key. No good. You love the offensive set, even when the shots don't fall.
Absolutely, that was a good shot. I mean, you're not going to make them all. And to your point, the spacing in the last few possessions has been fantastic, and they're doing a real job, like I said, of getting some backdoor screens to get those big fellas the balls on the block. They got to find McKinney or Bowens in this possession.
Roddy plays back Rashad Perry. Now here's McKinney, top of the key.
So looking to take the big fella off the dribble.
Can't get away from Bryant. 3 off the wing, and Bowens misfires.
He wanted that one.
Under 3 to play. We've slowed down a bit here in the second quarter. 3 from the wing. Can't finish for Rosser, and this one will stay up front.
Yeah, for some reason, Southeastern is starting to rely or offensively looked at taking jump shots instead of continue to do what got him this 10-point lead, which is throwing it to the big fellas.
Yeah, again, I think maybe I'm going to play on if you remember the old movie Free Willy, right? Free Akizi. That's what I like to see here at this point. He's not in the ball game right now, though. Oh, thank you very much!
Tony Bryant.
Bryant again, his third dunk tonight.
He's got 16, Jeffrey.
Mercy.
He's got 16, and I don't think one of those points is outside of 4 feet.
Here's Roddy. He'll back up on the dribble. Working on Wilkins.
The other concern if you're Reynoldsburg in that particular case, not to harp on the last possession, but he had a wide open lane to the bucket. They at least need to provide some sort of resistance.
Drive and blocked off the window. Here comes Southeastern Prep.
There we are again.
Thank you very much again. Tony Bryant with 2 more. Spin dribble McKinney. Pops 15 feet away, left it short. Tapped around, saved initially, and a foul on the floor. Well, instead of just a dunk meter, maybe we should just have a Tony Bryant meter.
Well, Southeastern's getting these balls out in transition and getting quick baskets because, I mentioned it was 26 to 19. When I mentioned they're only down 7, now we're looking at a 14-point deficit. And Reynoldsburg's going to have to figure out something here in the next minute and a half to try to get this to 10.
Falcons are +8 here in the scoring column here in the second quarter with $1:35 left to go till halftime. I got to tell you, the Falcons have had a lot of fun tonight. Little touch foul there on Chavis Wilson as he worked against Kellen Cantrell.
His first personal, team's third.
Yeah, Reynoldsburg in a real feisty man-to-man right now. Trying to create some sort of way to get a turnover.
It's Cantrell to trigger. Aiden Gross dumps it off. 3 from the side and knock it down for Jaden Wilkins.
Jaden Wilkins.
Little stoppage here. I'm just counting up 3s here. I know we have a dunk meter, but I count up 3 trifectas here only for Southwestern Prep. It seems like more, but I think that's just because those outside jumpers are so pronounced when you see so many dunks.
Yeah, and they're even so, to your point, they're probably shooting close to a 40 to 50% clip. We'll see what it looks like at the halftime, but
they work in, and a non-dunk this time for Beckham Black, who's in the scoring column for the first time tonight, averaging just under 18 points a contest, 42 to 23, a 19-point spread.
yeah, this is ballooned quickly, and Southeastern does a really good job of getting the ball to the open man in a place where he can score a quick bucket. There's not a lot of one-on-one going on.
Speaking of one-on-one, Wilson. Chavis Wilson got it over Rosser for 2 of his own. They work in. Oh, and a nice easy layup. Beckham Black for his second straight field goal.
That was easy gas right there.
They work down low. Hooper,
Nice.
turnaround,
Okay.
good. Peyton Hooper with the bucket, and that's how this first half ends. A dominating first half of basketball for Southeastern Prep. The Falcons lead at 44 to 27 over Reynoldsburg. We'll head to the timeout. We'll take a siesta here for the half. When we come back, we'll review the first half and look ahead to half number 2 when we return on SUV TV. We're at the half, and a dominating first 16 minutes for Southeastern Prep. They lead Reynoldsburg by a score of 44 to 27. It's the nightcap here of Flyin To The Hoop, powered by Beacon Orthopedics. I'm Geoff Kim, along with Doug Powers. Thanks for joining us here on SUV TV. Minding the store and taking care of us tonight is Marcus Burnett. Partner, as we looked at a couple of things, obviously the dunk meter is broken. We saw a ton of that here in the first half, but I think the field goal percentage to start things off as we review the first half was a key note here for Southeastern Prep.
Absolutely. Most of their shots were down in the paint, direct dunks in this case. I know Bryant was 8 for 9. I think he probably had 4 or 5 of those were dunks. And when they weren't getting the dunks by the big guys, they were kicking out for threes. There's not a lot of mid-range going on right now. I think that Reynoldsburg's issue that we really spoke about at the outset is simply that they're just not big enough to guard these guys, and that's glaring right now.
It's points inside the paint, and if we're looking at points in the paint, we're typically think about inside the three-point line. Tonight, so far, the Falcons are 15 of 20. That's 75%. Rebounding battle, by the way, as we talk about domination in the paint area, rebounding belongs to the Falcons as well, 25 to 12.
Yeah, I mean, if Reynoldsburg, at one point they had it at 7 and they had the ball, if they're going to have any chance to come back in this game, luckily for them, they're very good three-point shooters, and three's more than 2. So if they can get a few of those, get a run of those, they've got to make sure that they work and get open looks and not force it, because Southeastern Prep is not only offensively dominant, but they're very good on the defensive end as well.
And we saw Makai Roddy hit from very, very long range a couple times in the first quarter. One of them a 25-footer, the other a 30-footer. So he can launch, and the fact that he has enough leg to be able to get those shots is quite something.
Absolutely, and McKinney and Bowens, not only can they shoot, but they've got great moves to the hole. They finish well. It's just a lot of times when they go up to finish, they're going up against Bryant or Akizi, and that could be problematic.
And we get the second half underway. As Reynoldsburg attacks right to left, attacks the west bucket. They drive to the hole and a block off the glass by Akizi.
That looked like goaltending.
That's the size there.
Back in a man-to-man for Reynoldsburg. Oh, you can't do that.
There's a drive and a nice finish for Anthony Cruz. Easy peasy.
Anthony Cruz.
That's his first field goal tonight to make it 46 to 27. Cantrell off the screen.
Roddy thought about it from about 35.
Roddy out of bounds.
He thought he got pushed. I think his momentum just took him in the wrong direction.
Well, he did pirouette for about a half a second on that right foot, and then gravity took over.
You're right. Gravity always wins.
There are certainties in life. Death and taxes, and then gravity as well.
Mm-hmm.
Minute gone by here in this third period, 19-point spread. Both teams a little bit more sedate to start things off here in the second half.
Yeah, it looks like Reynoldsburg's in some sort of matchup zone where they're looking to pack it in when the ball looks like it might go into the paint.
Cruz launches for 3, in and out. McKinney the rebound, stop and go, kicks it back out. Here's Bowens, out to Roddy. They're staying outside. They can't come inside. Here's a 3, a high arcing shot. You got to call those. The bank shot in for 3 for Bowens.
3-point basket, Jordan Bowens.
Oh, thank you very much.
Bryant.
Bryant with his 5th dunk tonight. Give him 22. Another block off the glass by the big man, and here comes Southeastern Prep. They try to go alley-oop, and it's too high for Rosser.
Too high for Rosser. That must have been pretty high.
Right now, they're just having fun. You and I talked about this at halftime, that so much of what we saw in the back 8 minutes of the first half was like watching a scrimmage. It was a practice game.
Yeah, I mean, every offense they get is easy gas. It's not difficult for them to get into their sets, to get the looks they want. Contrary, Reynoldsburg's either taking a 25-footer or the highly contested ball to the hole.
Seeing Akizi with a couple blocks here in this quarter. A long three and good. Bowens again. Jordy Bowens with his 4th trifecta. He's got
Bryant with a 2.
16, and Bryant with 2 more.
Wasn't a dunk. he's feeling out of sorts.
Bowens a high arcing from 15 feet away. Back iron and out. He's got the hot hand. He's got 4 trays tonight. 16 points. They work in. Ikizi, thank you very much. His 3rd dunk tonight. And we have officially hit the over on the dunk meter tonight.
Oh,
here's
nice
Roddy,
move
a
by
nice.
Roddy.
He took the damage, no foul, but he got the bucket.
Travel.
All of a sudden, the pace is picked up here.
Raiders foul call number 20, Cornelius Oliver. That's his 4th personal.
Cornelius Oliver, who hasn't seen a lot of minutes. We saw him start out the ball game in the first quarter, but he was saddled with 3 in the first half. He picks up his 4th.
Yeah, he's trying to be as physical as he can in the paint, but he's not really moving his feet. He's playing defense with your hands, and that's going to end up in fouls. Coach is telling him about it right now.
Back door, and a nice little lay-in for C.J. Rosser. Rosser averaging 16.5 a ball game. He's got 7 in the book. 54-35. Bowens, who's going to OU. Send it out to McKinney, who's also going to OU. Nice jump step in the lane, and good.
Timeout on report, Reynoldsburg.
Reynoldsburg takes the TO with 4:10 left to go. Wanted to talk about recruiting. So we talked about Tony Bryant. He's going to Missouri. He's already signed there. And right now, the best products, the best players that we see on the floor for Southeastern Prep haven't signed, haven't declared anywhere, even though there are multiple offers out there. In the case of Beckham Black, we haven't seen a lot of tonight. He did score like a couple field goals back in the first half. Beckham Black is the 6th ranked player in the class of 2027 according to ESPN. He's been offered by Cincinnati, Kentucky, Arkansas, and among others.
Yeah, I would imagine those discussions and those talks are going to start to heat up pretty soon, because as juniors, we're getting into the back half of their junior year. Mm-hmm. They're going to start looking at places that they can settle in, narrow it down to, excuse me, so that they can go into their senior year with a lot of that stuff behind them, and they can just go out and play ball.
C.J. Rosser's got 14 offers. 3 of the schools, the 3 schools I mentioned, with Black, as we have a 3 here and knock it down. A 3 for Beckham Black.
I mean, that's just unfair for Southeastern Prep. They're getting so many points in the paint, and now that they kick it out to Beckham Black, and he drains a 3.
0-on-0. Here's Roddy from long range. Left it off the lip. The point I wanted to make here is both Rosser and Black have been recruited by the same schools. It wouldn't be unusual. It'd be something to see them be teammates at the next level.
Yeah. And more than likely, that's something that they're considering.
McKinney misfires. They keep it up front. Bowens to the rack. Nice move. Jordy Bowens has shown off an all-around floor game here tonight in Kettering.
He has absolutely shown himself to be a complete scorer. Oh, boy.
And 2 more. No dunk, but Rosser gets 2 of his own.
Rosser's going to have to put $1 in the no dunk bucket on that one, because he should have slammed that one home.
Long 3. Roddy misfires. And a long outlet. Akizi missed the dunk, and then Roddy comes from behind and fouls him.
Those can sometimes end up a little dicey with foul when the guys are up there at the rim, but luckily Akizi came down cleanly.
Well, by the way, we're not on the floor, and we don't understand some of the language or some of the words that might be going on between the 2 teams. As far as I can tell, there's not a lot of histrionics. If there's any words right now, that's under the breath.
Absolutely. I think that Reynoldsburg is just out there fighting and doing what they can. And Southeastern Prep is playing their game. They're not trying to show up Reynoldsburg. They're not trying to show off in front of them. They're just wide open. And when you're wide open and you're 6'11", you go up and dunk it.
And in the case of the Roddy foul, right? You know, you hear the words no harm, no foul. It's really, we got a foul, but there's no harm. And he gets one of two.
Back in for Southeastern Prep Academy.
Well, in the case of Roddy, in the case of just good, healthy play, you don't want to give a guy a free run at the bucket if you can avoid it. So he's putting in the effort to try to block the shot.
So far, the Falcons are +7 in scoring here in this third quarter with 2:30 left to go. 60-39. Only the final score is what we're waiting for here at this point. To close out day number 1 here at Flyin To The Hoop. We've had fun tonight. Wasatch was a revelation here tonight.
Wasatch was interesting. It would be interesting to see them taking on Southeastern Prep to see what they would do with the size.
Well, both are out of that EYBL, that Nike League, the Scholastic League.
They would likely cross paths at some point.
Beckham Black, a little. Skip to my Lou, and that's an easy three.
3-point basket, Beckham Black.
Crossover, bringing it up with his left hand into his right hand with a defender right in his face. That's impressive.
Beckham Black is a 50% shooter from the floor. 63-39. A 24-point lead.
I mean, Southeastern just keep compiling points.
The block shot by Bryant. Here's a three straight on for Black. No good, but the putback dunk
Rebound,
for
putback,
Bryant again. And a timeout.
Timeout.
Good hustle by Bryant to trail on the. Actually, he wasn't trailing. He was ahead of Beckham. Beckham pulled up for that three, but he was right in the right spot to put the putback.
How about that extension on the putback by Bryant?
Impressive, and he's been doing that all game. I mean, whether it's putbacks, whether it's wide open dunks, whether it's free runner to the hole, whether it's with two guys on him. Because at some point early, Reynoldsburg was double teaming him early.
Timeout on the floor with 1:18 left to go. We saw substitutions waiting to come in for the Falcons, and you think at this point you really need to start clearing out the bench. Guys that you want to see. In the case we want to see, like Akizi and Black, maybe they shouldn't play more than the minutes here tonight.
Yeah, and in the case of Southeastern Prep, all these kids have signed up to play basketball as their primary vocation, if you will. So it's good to get some of these guys some playing times because again, Reynoldsburg, they're down by 20 plus, but they are no scrubs for sure. They are a very talented team. They're just up against a buzzsaw like Southeastern with a lot of height and a lot of skill.
By the way, is Tony Bryant the most fun you've had at a high school game in a while? He has been just enjoyable tonight.
What's he going to do next?
He's got 24 to lead all scorers. 5 dunks tonight. I mean, if you're a scout or a coach and you're watching this tonight, mercy. And if you're in Missouri, you're thinking, well, we're lucky to have him.
We are, because he is tenacious. Not only defensively, he's probably got 3 or 4 blocks, along with his baker's dozen of dunks.
Foul on the move. And Gross trying to work his way in.
Reynoldsburg foul number 3, Chavis Wilson.
Wilson on the hold. That's his second.
His second, team's third.
Gross with a chance to get himself in the scorebook.
Shooting 2.
Aiden's averaging about 8 points a ball game. 6'2" guard. And they're only free if you make them.
And for the Falcons, number 33, Jackson Flint.
So a man that I worked with, that you saw around Wright State over at the Notice Center a lot, Mark Vest was my broadcast partner when we did Raiders TV for a decade together. And that was his hallmark. Free throws are only free if you make them.
Yeah, missed free throws can be the bugaboo, for lack of a not clean term, for coaches, because they're free points and you got to make them. But they're, like you said, they're only free if you make them.
Flint misses, and the back tap out, and up in the front court with just under 30 to play here in this third quarter. 65-39, a 26-point spread. A high runner, and no good. And maybe one final shot here. Let's see if they hold on to the shot. Or they'll take it right here. Three on the way. Aiden Gross.
3-point basket, Aiden Gross.
He said, I'm not going to bother with free throws. I'm going to go ahead and make a three to triple my production.
McKinney from long range straight on, misfires, and we head to the fourth. It's a blowout here in the making. The Falcons leading the Raiders 68-39. We're flying to the hoop here in the nightcap in Kettering, powered by Beacon Orthopedics here on SUV TV. A final quarter here on your Friday night on day one of Flyin To The Hoop, powered by Beacon Orthopedics. I'm Geoff Kim, along with Doug Powers. We thank you for joining us on SUV TV. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Cats Academy will have the early game at 11:30 against Dream City Academy, who we saw in the first game here tonight, and then Wyoming and Wayne in the middle game of the afternoon set, followed by Lima Senior and Brunswick. Here's the runner, Cruz for two.
Anthony Cruz.
It'll be interesting to see how Dream City does tomorrow, because you brought up a good point about potential jet lag. Hopefully they can get a good night's sleep tonight and be ready to play tomorrow.
Yeah, some of these teams come from a long way. I know in the case of Southeastern Prep, here's the runner, and that's no good for Postel.
Yeah, we've seen teams from Florida, Utah, and Arizona tonight in a matter of 3 hours.
Well, the center of the prep basketball world is in Kettering here this weekend. A lot of great talent.
You were mentioning the Wyoming-Wayne game. I'll be interested to see how that one turns out, because I'm pretty familiar with Wyoming, seen them quite a bit.
Ooh. Jaden Wilkins for three more.
They've got two of their players, Kellen Wiley and Carlisle Billingsley, who have committed to Ashland. They've got two others that are fantastic. Excuse me, they're four seniors that have been playing together, starting at Wyoming since they were freshmen. Kellen Wiley is a two-time player of the year. Just a solid player. So it'll be interesting. You know, they're in the CHL, and the competition for them isn't great. But when you look at their non-league schedule, it's St. X, LaSalle, Moeller, it's teams from out of town. They're really ramping up for the tournament. So it'll be interesting to see how they can fare against Dayton Wayne.
Out of the timeout. By the way, timeout situation, Reynoldsburg with 2, Southeastern Prep with 4. By the way, if you're the Falcons, there's really no reason to take any more timeouts unless you're really looking for an opportunity to substitute.
Yeah, and it looks like they've put the back end of their bench in the game right now. At least the trifecta of the Tri-Towers aren't in the game anymore.
Nice move by McKinney down low.
Xavier McKinney.
Xavier has 9. 73-41.
Reynoldsburg really should just take this as an experience. Go back to the woodshed, go back to the workshop, and just get ready to play in their upcoming league games, their regularly scheduled games, because they're a solid ball club.
Three's off the mark. Loose ball, still loose. Corralled by Gross. Nice bit of teamwork. A high arcing three for Starks, no good. Griffin Starks at 6'7", a junior, in the ball game. And this one taken away. This one up front and back outside. 3 from the corner, and Anthony Cruz can't get it to drop. They get the rebound, they get the putback, and no English there for Griffin Starks.
He was probably fouled on that, but I think the refs are trying to let this one go.
Swallow the whistle. Nice move. No finish, though.
Should have used the glass. So many players today don't use the bank board. Not to sound like an old head.
Long 3 again for Jaden Wilkins. By the way, to your point on the bank, right? The bank is open in gyms after hours. Thank you. Please be sure to tip your servers on your way out.
I see too many big players, tall players, get close to the rim, and they try to lay it in over the rim, straight on or just off to the side, and they would do themselves a favor by using the glass a heck of a lot more often.
McKinney scores, but they answer back in another 3 for Wilkins.
Jeez.
By the way,
I mean,
Jaden Wilkins with 4 trays off the bench tonight.
I've just noticed that. That one was highly contested off of the dribble. He looked like James Harden.
McKinney goes to the right hand. Can't finish, but
good
the
shot,
putback,
Phil.
good job. Peyton Hooper seeing his first action in the 4th quarter.
I mean, Southeastern can just score in all ways possible.
A stoppage as we have substitutions. We're going to carry on with some other things as far as the schedule. So we gave you the early slate of games, tomorrow afternoon. Matt Digby and Chase Younts will take you through those games. I'll be back with you for game 6 of this one. Wasatch Academy, who we saw in the early game tonight against St. Ignatius. That should be fun.
That should be absolutely great.
And then in game 7, it'll be Southeastern Prep, who we're seeing right now, against the old-fashioned to be determined. There's a story behind that. We'll get to that here in a little bit. And then game 8, the nightcap, Fishers against Centerville. Good old warm and cheerful Centerville. The men of Brook Cups.
Well, who's ever playing Southeastern Prep, you said TBA, if they're in the arena right now, they're probably not going to volunteer to be playing these fellas.
Beckham Black gets 2. He's still in this ball game. I'm a little surprised to see him still out.
I am, especially they just subbed him back in, and they just subbed in Rosser back in as well, who just got the foul.
Are they trying to just make sure that they keep legs underneath them?
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to get, I know Beckham was quote-unquote behind his stats, if you will. He averages 17 a game. He came in at a halftime. He only had 4 points at halftime.
Meanwhile, Xavier McKinney ices the first free throw.
I would hope the coaches wouldn't take advantage of an opponent to allow a player to get us some garbage points in the 4th quarter to pad his average. But
well, I have a thought on that, and that is we live in the day and age of video, streaming video, internet, social media. There's so much out there that you really don't need it. Here's Bowens on the steal. He's got a 3-on-1. He takes it right to the rack. Put back by McKinney.
McKinney.
The whole point is this. Back in the old days, before you had all of that, I understand padding stats because that's what scouts are looking at. Here and now, you really don't need that.
that's a great point, and I'm sure that scouts have plenty of scouting reports, video on all these players from prep, because all these players from this prep team are hoping to go on in the next couple years to play somewhere in college. So to your point, I don't know that he needs to put extra points underneath his average just to make it, keep it around the 17 mark.
Wilkins gets the first. Well, to another point, though, on that. While we live in the age of video and so much tape that's out there and highlight reels and things that you send packages to coaches and scouts, the other side of it is you do need some numbers to validate it. And he makes them both. My point on it is this, right? If you get a good-looking kid who you're in love with, but he scores 4 points a night, is he really a good-looking kid?
Oh, that could be.
McKinney, back outside. Now, to that other point, here's a long-range three, and misfiring by Roddy. McKinney grabs it, and his shot is rejected by C.J. Rosser. Here's Black, thought about the shot, dubs it down low. Griffin Starks lost the handle, now he's double-teamed.
Take it too long, buddy.
Back outside, three on the way for Jaden Wilkins, his fifth tonight. How would you like to have that for bench strength?
My goodness. Oh my goodness, Roddy with the acrobatic lay-in. That might have been the most impressive shot tonight in a night of impressive shots. Oh.
Thank you very much! C.J. Rosser with an exclamation point. 88-51 with 1 minute left to go. And a timeout here. We'll keep it along here.
Number 4, Mason Cohen.
By the way, in terms of Reynoldsburg,
Number 32.
do you believe in the idea of you're determined by who you lose to?
Only if you let it. Only if they look at this tape and look at this game and it bothers him.
Here's
Oh,
Black.
travel.
Thank you very much. A showtime dunk for Beckham Black as an exclamation point. Here's Roddy to the hole, no good. The clock continues to roll.
For Southeastern Prep, north of 10 dunks tonight, right? North of 10 probably.
That's a first for me. We see the clock just running here with a 39-point spread. We were wondering about running clock rules earlier in this ball game. They are apparent right here.
I mean, that's probably best for everybody anyway, really. What are we working on at this point?
Kai Roddy scoring. And one final opportunity, we believe here. Black, he dumps it down low, and a nice finish by Jackson Flint.
Jackson Flint.
There's a long-range shot to end things here in Kettering tonight. What a finish here for Southeastern Prep. A big-time win by 39, 92-53 over Reynoldsburg tonight as they improved to 25-7. Reynoldsburg drops to 7-5 on the season. Reynoldsburg is a good team. This is just a prep team that's got athletes and height all over the place.
Yeah, sometimes you just run into a wall, to your point, Reynoldsburg is a heck of a ball club. But Southeastern Prep is stacked with ballers all up and down, and they were after it from the get-go, from the tip today.
Partner, in a game of superlatives where threes were big, dunks were bigger, what do you take away from tonight's ball game as a closer?
I take away that there are some great players playing basketball at high schools and prep academies all over this country. You can go, I mean, we're here in Kettering, Ohio, and we just saw 4 teams that have absolutely fantastic ball players on their team. That's my takeaways. There's great players all over the place.
Division I talent all over the place, and it was apparent here, especially in this nightcap. The dunk meter, well, we threw it out the door at halftime. It was a lot here tonight. I think a dozen dunks here tonight.
Easily.
For the Falcons of Southeastern Prep as they improved to 25-7. A winner tonight, 92-53. Reynoldsburg, the Raiders, fall to 7-5. Final thoughts here on this one as we have some final numbers to share here before we can get to the end. We'll get to that here in a second. Tonight, it was Southeastern Prep hitting 63% of their shots.
Tony Bryant missing 1 shot all night, and that was a 3.
Right. They out-rebounded Reynoldsburg 43-22. Reynoldsburg shot 34.5% tonight. Now, against a team with this much size, you actually take that into respect. I think it's the defensive end, if you're head coach Andrew Moore, that you want to work on here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, there were a lot of blocks, a lot of contested shots, but Reynoldsburg fought the good fight. They've got a lot to be proud of, and they've got a lot to look forward to this season.
Final thoughts?
I'm good, Jeff. It was great working with you. Good luck the rest of the weekend, and hope all of your games are great.
Yeah, you better wish luck to Scott Mueller, who's stuck with me for 7 games here this coming weekend here. So, again, the final here tonight, a runaway here for Southeastern Prep. 92-53, the winners over Reynoldsburg. The Falcons improved to 25-7. Reynoldsburg drops to 7-5. Our thanks to our producer, our videographer tonight, Marcus Burnett. For Doug Powers, I'm Geoff Kim. Good night from Kettering.